Good day, everyone. This is Brad Flynn, the Borough Manager for the Borough of Bath. I'm with you this afternoon sharing a Tax Bill 101 course. Since we're getting into tax season and everyone will be seeing some tax bills in the next couple months, it was best that we kind of run through this information so we can help explain what's on those tax bills when you get them from different authorities. This is in no way going to totally understand your individual tax situation or tax questions that you might have. And if you do have specific questions relative to your property, I would encourage you to contact Keystone Collect or the county or the school district or whoever the school district's collecting authority is for anything real specific or technical. I'm just the type of person that I don't like when math kind of gets confusing or can be intimidating. So we want to take that intimidation factor out for you and provide this video for you so you can kind of understand how it all comes about from the different authorities, taxing authorities. So the first thing we're going to go over here is on the left-hand side of the screen, the Borough of Bath property tax breakdown. I have here just a real brief millage definition, okay? So the millage rate is $1 of tax per $1,000 of assessed tax on a property. So in the Borough of Bath, we have two different taxes on property. We have real estate, this one here, which is set at $14.75. Then we have a fire tax, and that's at 0.25 mils. For a total of 15 mils. Now, 14.75 mils is used for the general fund for general borough expenses, and the fire tax is monies that is directed to the fire company for their yearly expenses. The next thing we have here is the county tax. So the county real estate tax is set at 11.8 mils. That's this number here, and that's standard across all county properties. The school districts, so the Borough of Bath is in the Northampton Area School District. They currently levy a tax rate of 54.89 mils. So how does this break down in the total proportion of the tax pie? So the Borough of Bath, as you see, has a 15 mil tax rate. That takes up 18.4% of the overall bill. And then we have county tax at 11.8, 14.4%. And then we have the school tax, which is the largest portion of the tax at 54.89, is 67.2%. So a property in the Borough of Bath will be paying a total tax liability of 81.89 mils. And that's how it's distributed, borough, county, school. So now if we move over to the box to the top right in red, we have just a real quick snippet of what a county tax assessment record might look like, right? You can find this information on www.ncpub.org, and you can look up your individual property, and under the values tab, you can come up with a similar box that I have here. And in this example, so the county is just using their formulas and methods to come up with a current land value, right? So they're saying $38,000 here is the current land value. And this shouldn't be mistaken with what an appraiser does or fair market value, as those particular items are completely separate than what the county does for tax assessment purposes. In this example, we have a current building value at $61,900, and then so the current total they're showing at $99,900. When you plug this into assessed valuation, so Northampton County uses a half tax rate, so they say, or half assessment rate, so they say of $99,900, and only half of that is going to be used for taxing purposes. And that's different. It could be different across other counties in this state. Other jurisdictions may actually tax up to 100% of the assessed value. I can tell you other states sometimes do things called a proportional tax or fractional tax. So there's all these different mechanisms for taxing property. In Northampton County, it's half your land, half your building, whatever that total is. They may make a rounding adjustment. They may round up, round down, and they come up with the final total assessed. So again, in this example, we have an assessed land valuation now on that same property at $19,000. The assessed building in this example is $31,000. So the total assessed value comes out at $50,000. That's the number that the taxing authorities will then use against their millage rates to come up with a tax bill. So the bottom right-hand corner box in purple here is just expressing millage rates in different ways, right? So a tax bill may have it shown as example 1, where it's 11.8 mils. If you do the conversion on that to get the decimal, it's just 11.8 divided by 1,000, and then that's what the decimal would be. Example 2, you may also see, and going back to example 1, so the county, when they give their tax bills, it's shown like this. It'll show 11.8 mils. Example number 2, you have these millage rates in decimal form. And the Keystone Collects organization for Bath taxes, they use this version. So they put it in decimal form, and then they calculate the tax bill in that way. But just to convert it, you take the decimal times 1,000, and in this case, you come up with 14.75, the 0.0250 times 1,000, and you come up with, of course, 0.25. And so we'll go over the examples of some tax bills you might see, maybe do a little bit of math just to kind of show you how it works. I have a Keystone Collects bill in the next slide, and the following slide from there is a county tax bill. Okay, in this first example, we have this is an old bill, 2018 real estate tax from Keystone Collections Group. And this is the Borough of Bath. So what we're going to do here, just want to point out some things. So we see here in the tax rate box, they show the borough real estate tax in decimal form, and the fire tax is also in decimal form. It might be hard to see on this example, but here's your assessed value. I've got it highlighted here. I'm going to circle it as well. The value here, the assessed value that we're using to determine the tax is $32,600. So now using the tax rates, we have the first one here at 0.01475. And now if you just do the multiplication on that, so we know it's 32,600 times 0.01475, and that will provide us with a face value tax right here, which is $480.85. So what you have is the face value. If you pay it early, you get a 2% discount. That's what this box is saying. Face value is saying that if you don't make the early period, then at face value, it's a $480.85 tax. And then after this deadline of June 15th, the tax goes up by 10%. And that's what this box is representing here with that new total. Now, if we look at the fire tax, back to our scratch paper, we know we have 0, 0, 0, 250. So it's already, the millage is already in decimal format. So we take that decimal and we times it by 32,600, which is the assessed value of the property, and we come up with $8.15 at face value. So the total tax on this property at face value then is $489, given its assessed value of $32,600. And that's how it works for the Borough of Bath tax rate, and that's what the Keystone Collects tax bill looks like when you get it this spring. So we'll go on to the next example. Okay, on this example, we have this is now current. This is a 2021 real estate tax notice from the County of Northampton. So what we notice here is that we have an assessed value on this tax bill at $50,000. That's highlighted in the top left-hand corner here. And if you notice what the county does, they show the tax rate in the full millage. They don't do the division. They don't divide the 11.8 mil out by 1,000 to come up with a decimal. No big deal. So it's just another way of representing the numbers. One side will divide it, one side multiplies it. It's just different ways of looking at the numbers. So in this case, we have $50,000 total assessed value. What we can do, real simply, you take that number and then you can divide it by 1,000. And once you do that, we come up with 50. So using the assessed value of 50 from 50,000, dividing it out, we now multiply 11.8, because that's what the county gives us in the rate expressed in that way. It's 11.8. So then the total tax liability in this example and under this type of math function is going to be $590. And we see that confirmed on the tax bill. So the face is at $590 on this particular property. And then they also the county will do a 2% discounted rate if you pay on or before a certain time. And then, of course, if you go past the payment date, they add a 10% penalty. And it increases the property tax by that much. So I hope this video has been useful for you in understanding the tax bills from different scenarios, different examples, and not to make it so confusing and how the math works or where they get these numbers from. Hopefully through this demonstration, it's again very rudimentary, but it'll give you a better handle on the tax bills when you get them this spring. I wish everyone well, be well, and stay safe out there.